Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Leanna if you're new, and today I've got a hot date. Therefore, I must turn into a hot date. And so I figured I'd film a get ready with me, and to make it a little more entertaining, I thought I'd spill some cold tea about my younger self and her bad luck with dating. But first, today's natural, fresh-faced makeup look is sponsored by Merit Beauty, which is a sustainable, responsible, and clean luxury makeup brand. Their whole thing is minimalism and less is more, which I think is really cool and you don't see a lot of nowadays. I'm excited to say that this is my second time collabing with them because I've been really loving their products lately. So let me show you how I achieved this look. I'm starting off with their Brow 1980 pomade. Usually I'm used to using at least 2 different products for my brows and then brushing it all out with a spoolie, but this applicator makes it really easy to just put on my brows and go, so this is really great for those days where I don't really feel like putting on a lot of makeup. The next product I'm going to use is the Complexion Perfecting Stick, neither a foundation nor concealer, but meant to replace both in your makeup bag. Now, I'm not really a foundation gal, but I find that this is perfect for when I do want a little more coverage. I've mainly been using it as a concealer, and it's pretty great. It just blends into the skin and covers up my dark circles. I use this stick pretty much every other day. It's like my favorite product from this line. They also do have a blending brush, which I'm not using right now because I gave it to my sister as a gift, but she really likes it. It's really dense and fluffy. The next thing I'm going to use is their Flush Balm, and before this product I was such a liquid blush girl, but I think I've been converted to balms just because I really like the way it blends out. It looks really natural, like I've just gotten out of the shower or like finished a moderately challenging jog, although who am I kidding, I hate cardio. So after that I'm going to use their Day Glow Highlighting Balm, which I think is their most unique product. This is really special because this highlighting stick is shimmer free, which means when you apply it, it looks really dewy and really natural, which I actually prefer. It goes on feeling kind of wet, which I'm obsessed with. This is just one of those products that feels super good going on that you kind of just want to keep applying more and more and more, but you only really need a little bit. It's really subtle, so it might not be for you if you like your highlight to really pop out, but I really like this, especially on natural makeup days. Next up is their Lengthening Mascara, which I'm using as a cream eyeliner right now because they don't have an eyeliner yet. I'll be honest, I don't really use this at all. It's just a personal preference, but I pretty much only use wax-free mascaras, and this one unfortunately isn't wax-free. But as far as normal mascaras go, this one's pretty good. It's really creamy and doesn't clump up, and it does do the lengthening that it claims to do, so I'm pretty impressed actually. And for the finishing touch, I'm using their lip oil, which I really love. I just really love how fresh the color looks, and I really like how it kind of coordinates with my blush color. When my lipstick matches my blush, that just takes me up to cloud 9. So that's it for this makeup look. Really simple, really minimal, but lively and fresh. I feel like in the past few years I've been trying to nail down a simple, minimal makeup look, but I never really found one that I was super happy with. But with these products, it's almost too easy. So if you're interested in getting any of the products for yourself, I've dropped a link down in the description box below. So after makeup comes hair, and I've literally done this hairstyle a gajillion times on my channel already, so I figured it would be more entertaining to talk a little bit about my teenage self. This came up for me because as I'm getting ready to go on a date, it's occurring to me that 15-year-old me couldn't even fathom the idea of going out with a boy. And I swear this isn't just for the sake of exposing myself, neither is it just for pointless entertainment purposes, because there is kind of a wholesome overarching message at the end of this, I promise. So yeah, when I was 15, I wanted more than anything to have a boyfriend. Perhaps it was because I was an erotically charged teenager. Perhaps it was because I was insecure and desperately sought male validation to officially be able to reject the misconception in my head that I was ugly. But for some reason, it was really freaking hard. You see, I wasn't the prettiest girl in high school, and I wasn't very popular either. So to put it simply, nobody was looking at me. While there were guys that liked me, most of them didn't come out and say the words, "I like you, we should date." Likely because they were also insecure teenagers afraid of rejection. And because I was just so insecure, if I didn't hear those exact words, "I like you, we should date," then it would be nearly impossible for me to even entertain the idea that a boy might like me. For example, when I was in 9th grade, I really liked this tall, skinny boy, and he liked me too, but I had no idea, even though we talked every single day and were great friends. I had actually asked him if he wanted to go see a movie with me and my friends, but he didn't come, much to my disappointment. And there was another time that I invited him to volunteer with me after school, but it didn't work out that time either. Inviting him to hang out with me outside of school was the most that I was willing to extend myself. And he didn't really extend himself all that much either. It was only in the 10th grade that I had the courage to tell him that I liked him all of ninth grade, and he said he felt the same, but by that time it was too late. The ship had already sailed into the night, and I had moved on to another guy who actually did ask me to quote-unquote hang out, and it was only 2 years after the fact that I realized that it was a date. And he also called me beautiful, but that wasn't enough for me. I needed to ask him up front, do you like me? Because if he did, then great. If he didn't, then I didn't want to be led on. And the question, do you like me, was one that I had asked many years before to an 8-year-old boy in the 4th grade. To which that boy answered, ew, no. So this was difficult for me, but you know, I didn't want it to just be another boy from 9th grade scenario where we just keep liking each other and do nothing about it. So I was like, hey, do you like me? And he was like, no, I don't. I was just flirting for fun. See, it's shit like that that made me really just get inside my head. Why are boys like this, huh? Somehow I had found a way to blame myself for that one, even though it was very clearly not my fault. Now the next boy actually told me that he liked me, but he really caught me off guard because I didn't really feel like he did. And when he told me, I responded, well, that's nice of you. And it took me a second, but I realized a little too late that I liked him back. By the time I realized it, he was already avoiding me because he thought I wasn't interested. So that was that. Another missed opportunity, another reason to get mad at myself. But fate brought us together once again, because an entire year later, when our French teacher decided to sit us next to each other for not 1, but 2 quarters of the school year, it was completely inevitable that sparks would once again fly. I don't know how she knew, but she always just knew. It was then, in junior year, that I decided I had had enough. No more games. Too many times had I let potential boyfriends slip right through my fingers, and finally, for the first time in my life, a force greater than my own insecurity came into play. That's right, horniness. I'm only sort of kidding. I liked this guy, goddammit, and I was gonna tell him. So I did, and I told him I wanted to talk to him during lunch, and I asked him out, to which he said no. Big oof, I know. After that, I finally got my first boyfriend. He was tall and charming and we had nothing in common, but he liked me and told me, and that was good enough for me at the time. After we inevitably broke up after high school, I tried my hand at flirting with this guy from another school for the sole reason that he had abs, and I asked him out in the hopes for a brief summer fling, but he ghosted me. That summer, I was rejected by 4 guys, 5 if you count my ex-boyfriend who broke up with me. Even still, that was the best summer of my life for a lot of reasons, but partially because I was just so unhindered. Now that I think about it, most of the guys that I've tried to pursue have rejected me, so when people tell me that I could get any guy I wanted, I know it's not true, and that's okay. The moral of the story is, if you like somebody, just say so, and if they don't like you back, then it's not the end of the world. It says nothing about your self-worth, and at least you know and can move on. The lesson here is, shoot your shot. Life is short, and if you miss, then on to the next. And this doesn't just go for dating either. I try to live my life being as straightforward and honest with people as possible. To me, it's just the best way to avoid any games or pent-up emotions, even if you end up ruffling a couple of feathers. So with that being said, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm off to my date now. Until next time.